Coming up on Green Bay Nation, the Packers trip out east ends in giant disappointment as Green Bay loses and joins a five-way tie in the playoff hunt before a short week and the Tampa Bay Bucks coming to town. All that and more next on Green Bay Nation. Hello and welcome to Green Bay Nation. I'm Lauren Helbrecht, and joining me to chat everything Packers, he's a Packers beat writer for the Green Bay Press-Gazette, Ryan Wood, and he's a radio host for 107.5 and 1400 The Fan, Marcus Eversole. You probably are, but I think the Packers are definitely seeing the Italian hello in their nightmare. Just a tough game on Monday night.
I don't understand that reference. I have no clue what you might be referring to.
He was a guy that was running a lot, and I didn't know he could run, and they call him Tommy Cutlets.
I've never had a Tommy Cutlet before, and I'm not planning to start now. All right, so the Packers go into New York as the better team with a better record, and they looked completely out of it. Losing to the Giants 24-22, making Tommy DeVito look like a legit quarterback, a star. I mean, obviously this is fun, but last week I remember asking you guys, do you think this might be a trap game? They got trapped. I mean, why do you think the Packers played down to the Giants in this game, Marcus?
I think this is just who the Packers are, for better or worse. I feel like just about every game this season, the Packers have played to their competition. Now, against some good opponents recently, they go to Detroit against a solid Lions team on Thanksgiving. They win that game. They play to their competition. They played up to their competition. They did the same thing the following week, Sunday night, against the Super Bowl champion Chiefs. They played up to their competition. But with only a couple exceptions this season, the season opener, they blew out the Bears. Week 4, they got blown out by the Lions. Every game's been right there. Against bad teams, the Packers can play with or lose to just about anybody. They can also beat some good teams. So I feel like this is I know people might be sick of us talking about how it's the youngest team in football, but I think this is kind of the reality of having such a young team. You play to the level of competition.
Often in life, in general, the youth don't do what they're supposed to. And so this is the norm, right? They play bad football, and that's as simple as that. When they play good football, they've beaten some pretty good teams, and they played bad football against the Giants. They had way too many penalties out of the gate. They didn't execute on offense. They muffed a punt and then had the great fortune of recovering the punt and then tried to get up off the ground after recovering the punt and fumbled. I don't know if I've ever seen that before, a muff and a fumble punt at the same time. These are just boneheaded things. So they know better. The youth knows better, but sometimes the youth doesn't do what the youth's supposed to do. They don't do the right thing, and that's what you saw Monday night. So if this team plays clean football, if they just do what they're supposed to do, there's a lot of talent here with this youth, and you're going to see them win more games. But they've got to do what they're supposed to do.
I have never heard the word muff more than in that press box during that game. Muff here, muff there, muff twice on one. Keyshawn Nixon said he played really poorly. He owned up to it. All right, so even the game was ugly, and honestly, the better team won. The Packers had a chance. They were still in it. Malik Heath scores with 1 minute and 33 seconds left, and now all the Green Bay Packers need to do is stop the Giants, and they win. They have a 1-point lead, and yet Joe Barry's defense lets the Giants march down the field, score a walk-off field goal. I mean, why couldn't they get a stop?
It's a good question, and if you look at that game-winning drive, that's probably the easiest game-winning drive you will ever see. With all due respect to Tommy DeVito, and he certainly made a nice throw when Wan'Dale Robinson just toasted Keyshawn Nixon there on man coverage. But for the most part, it was just dinking and dunking, a check down here, a check down there, and the Packers corners playing incredibly soft coverage on the outside, just gift wrap, in the spirit of Christmas, giving a 9-yard gain to Darius Slayton on one particular play. Like, with a 1-point lead on the 25-yard line after a touchback, 1.5 minutes left, it's looking pretty good. Like, against Tommy DeVito, you're thinking, all right, defense just needs to get a stop and it's game over. Well, 30 seconds of game time later, they're at midfield, and it's not looking good. I mean, the Giants really made one play that the Packers didn't just give to them. So really, I thought the Packers gave them that drive as much as the Giants took it from them. Now, why they played the way they did, that's another question.
The confounding thing is 3 weeks before that, they were in the exact same situation. I get it was at home, not in New York on the road, but the exact same situation against Justin Herbert, who's got a lot more talent, all due respect to Tommy DeVito, than Tommy DeVito, and they make the stop. So it just, there's no rhyme or pattern here. As far as the ease of that final drive, that was the whole game. Marcus, the Giants' offensive line can't pass block you or me. They've given up 69 sacks this season. The Packers had none. They made things way too easy for Tommy DeVito. And there's a reason, he played clean, but when it's as easy as it was, when you protect your quarterback, he completed 17 of 21 passes. He was able to run out of some rushes occasionally, but the whole game was just he was very comfortable. And I don't care who you are, if you're an NFL quarterback and you're comfortable, those things happen. So that's the name of the game on defense. You've got to rattle the quarterback, but to do that, you got to get after the quarterback.
I felt for Malik Heath talking to him after the game. He almost had a game-winning touchdown, and then you go from that high to that low.
The low of dropping it, right?
Low
and
drop.
then the high, and then
Well, we still asked. Hey, he's an undrafted guy getting touchdowns in the league. That's exciting. All right, so this game was not good across all three phases, but Jordan Love did not play well, had 2 turnovers, a fumble, and an interception. Do you think that he regressed?
In short, no, I don't think Jordan Love regressed. He just didn't play very well. And sometimes quarterbacks don't play very well, and he's coming off a really impressive stretch. He didn't play well in the first half. He actually bounced back really well, and I thought he played extremely well down the stretch to put them in position to win that game. But he had an off night. It looked more like the Jordan Love we saw back in October. So that might sound kind of contradictory, but I don't think he regressed. He just had an off night.
Jordan Love's a franchise quarterback, and franchise quarterbacks don't play well every week. Patrick Mahomes had the fourth quarter interception a week before. Jared Goff, who's been playing like a franchise quarterback in Detroit, he had 3 fumbles a week before that. So this is, his development is not going to be linear. It's not going to point straight north and just keep going to infinity. He's going to have some off weeks. The thing that he showed, though, he was the most talented quarterback on the field. But he reminded us all, in that 3-game winning streak, he had 8 touchdown passes, no interceptions. The lack of interceptions was by far more important. He played clean. He plays clean. He's got a lot of talent.
When you win the turnover battle, usually you are able to win the game. The Packers obviously lost the turnover battle. All right, when we come back, it's already week 15. The Packers are still in the playoff hunt, barely. Next up on Green Bay Nation, we'll talk about postseason possibilities as Green Bay preps to host the Tampa Bay Buccaneers on a short week. That's next. All right, welcome back to Green Bay Nation. Lauren, Ryan, Marcus. So, despite losing on Monday night, Packers are still in the NFC wildcard hunt, barely. So, we're talking a 5-team tie at 6-7. The Bucs also have a 6-7 record, but because of a couple tiebreaker scenarios, Green Bay is sitting in that 7th seed. So, Ryan, right now, Week 15, is a playoff push realistic for the Packers?
Yeah, and, the whole, with 4 games left, they're in the 7th seed is irrelevant. I mean, that in a quarter gets you 25 cents. It doesn't mean anything. There's 4 games left. But what's very relevant, the rest of their games are not tough. And everything this team wants to accomplish is absolutely out in front of them if they play their best ball. If they don't, if they play like they did Monday night and they make boneheaded mistakes and things that they just know better, they know they shouldn't do, they're not going to go to the playoffs. They'll be on the outside looking in. But if they play clean, if they play just to their level, to the level that we've seen from them this season, with the remaining schedule that they have left, the Bucs this week is an important game. It's a big game. The Bucs are fighting for their playoff life in the NFC South. They're not very good. The Panthers next week are awful. The Chicago Bears to close the season, they're the Bears. And then you've got the Minnesota Vikings who won 3-0 against the Raiders. It's not a tough schedule. If they play well, they'll be in the playoffs.
Couldn't you say, though, that if they play well, or the rest of the games are easy, the Giants game was supposed to be easy?
Exactly.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's like you said, Marcus, they played at the level of the other team. These teams aren't that good, but if the Packers want to make the playoffs, they just have to play a little bit more elevated. Now, the Bucs are coming into town. They also have a 6-7 record, but they're currently sitting atop the NFC South, which might say more about the NFC South than the Buccaneers.
Yeah.
So, Marcus, there's a lot of things the Packers did wrong against the Giants. What's the number one thing Green Bay needs to fix when they host the Buccaneers?
Number one is they got to clean it up when it comes to turnovers. Like, don't turn it over. I mean, when you turn the ball over 3 times, you're capable of losing to anybody. That's exactly what happened Monday night against a bad Giants team. And I know they're playing better, but that's still a bad Giants team. Jordan Love turns it over twice. Keyshawn Nixon with the fumbled punt. You can't do that. The Buccaneers are not a great team. They are a better team than the Giants, though. And if you're turning the football over that much, like I said, you can lose to anybody. Another matchup I'm interested to watch in this one The Packers' young corners have been really good holding things together, all things considered, as shorthanded as they've been. But Mike Evans at 6'5", 215, whatever he's listed at, he's a different type of challenge. So anxious to see how Carrington Valentine and company match up against Mike Evans in this game. And it wouldn't be the worst thing in the world to get Jair Alexander back on the field, only if he's 100%.
That's a little teaser for later in Challenge or No Challenge. To Mike Evans, earlier today, Matt LaFleur just was so complimentary of him. Yeah, he could really dominate a game, kind of regardless of who his quarterback is, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, plus, not that anyone cares, but I do. I'm playing him in fantasy football this week, so
really?
I'd be just fine.
Who else are you playing in fantasy? Who's on your team?
You know what? On my team, Tyreek Hill.
This will take too long. We don't need to break this all down. Ryan's doing well in fantasy, and that's pretty much why he told you that.
She's heard a little bit about it.
Again, this is an off-the-screen conversation. All right, when we come back, when Green Bay's playing well, it's kind of easy to forget some major issues, but like on Monday, highlight some of the stuff the Packers need to work on, like their run defense. When we come back, we're heading to the locker room to hear about how the team feels about stopping the run. That's all next on Green Bay Nation. Welcome back to Green Bay Nation. Obviously, Packers knew to prepare for Saquon Barkley, one of the league's best running backs, suiting up for the G-Men. But it didn't look like Green Bay knew Tommy DeVito could run, and he made them pay. But honestly, that's not the first time the Packers' run defense hurt the green and gold in a major way. It's time now to get in the zone with Cam Nazare.
Entering Monday night, Giants quarterback Tommy DeVito had rushed for a brush over 80 yards. Well, against the Packers, he eclipsed 70 in a single game. Add Saquon Barkley to the mix and a few other players, and the Giants rushed for 209 total yards, the fourth time this season the Packers have surrendered 200 yards on the ground. And for Green Bay, it was just a lack of execution that allowed New York to run rampant all night.
In terms of run efficiency, and when Saquon was back there, we did a good job. The problem was we gave up 4 just brutal runs that accounted for over 100, I want to say 109 yards, where we had missed tackles, missed assignments, and you can't have that.
Same thing we've been saying every week. Know our job, know our assignment. Fill gaps and build a wall, and not allow running backs to have open running lanes and all that kind of stuff. And another thing that'll help us out is us mitigating the quarterback runs, whether it's zone read or scrambles. That'll help the run game out a lot.
No, they just made the plays that we didn't make. They ain't do nothing special. Everybody just got to do their job every single play. I think we got a good game plan. We just got to go out and execute.
It was a rough one to watch if you're a fan of defense, the Giants resurrecting old demons that came back to haunt the Pack. Now, guys, from what you saw, what do you think ultimately led to the demise of Green Bay's rush defense?
All right, time now for Q&A with Green Bay. Ryan, Marcus, it's not like the Packers have been known for their run defense, but it looked bad against the Giants. Did New York just know how to exploit it, or is this just who the team is?
Yes and yes, both those things. And I guess I might push back a little bit on the Packers not being known for their run defense. They're known for it for all the wrong reasons. I mean, they have been bad. This transcends different coordinators. It's been a long, long time since the Packers had what you would call a stout run defense. They're just not good. And why that is, obviously some of it has to be schematically. Listen, they've played 13 games. They have given up 200 rushing yards 4 times in 13 games. That's 30% of the season. So there's a 30% chance when the Packers take the field, they're giving up 200 rushing yards. Whatever the problem is, it's completely unacceptable.
I think we'd agree that this team in general has been pretty hard to pin down. They've been a bit confounding. But the defense, especially the run defense, is a few weeks ago they went into Detroit and they played a really good Lions run defense. They didn't shut them down. No one does that. But they played them pretty well. They played a lot of really good defense this year, and then, 4 games this season, they've given up 200 rushing yards, which makes no sense. Quay Walker not being on the field was big. His speed on the second level is important. But in general, it's just they've got to find some consistency because they played good defense. They got to iron that out.
Ryan Wood, the Green Bay Packers make no sense.
Yep.
Is that a good summation?
I am stunned. I'm just stumped. I'm stumped.
All right, when we come back, you'll be stumped again for Challenge or No Challenge, presented by the Good Guys Heating and Cooling. Plus, we're getting green and bold. That's all next. Welcome back to Green Bay Nation. Time now for Challenge or No Challenge, presented by the Good Guys Heating and Cooling. Week 15. Marcus, Ryan, if you agree, nothing happens. If you disagree, flag to the floor, just like Matt LaFleur. All right?
Sounds good.
All right, so Packers could not sack Tommy DeVito at all, for the life of them, against an offensive line that had given up 28 in the last 4 games. So Green Bay needs a sack against this Bucs game. I think it's going to come from Kenny Clark. Challenge or no challenge, Kenny Clark sack.
No challenge. Kenny Clark will get a sack. I'm feeling it.
No challenge. Kenny Clark will get a sack. He's having a Pro Bowl season. I think that he's been really good. I see him get into Baker Mayfield.
All right, so you mentioned it earlier, a little teaser. Jair Alexander been out for 5 straight games. He didn't even travel to New York with the team. I mean, they've been missing a veteran cornerback. They've been missing his presence. Challenge or no challenge? Jair plays against the Buccaneers.
No challenge. I'm going to say Jair plays. And 3 years ago, the Packers played the Buccaneers in the NFC Championship game. Jair Alexander intercepted Tom Brady twice in that game. And he wrote a song, The Ant Climbing Up the Cold Mountain.
Remember this.
I don't know what that means. I don't think anybody does. But the Packers are playing the Buccaneers, and I think Jair Alexander will play in this game.
I was the one that asked him the question, and he prefaced and said, "You ever heard of an ant climbing up a cold mountain?" I was like, "Uh-huh." And he's like, "No, you haven't." I was like,
Me neither.
"No, I haven't." That's a good point. You know, one of those reflexive. Quick question, Lauren.
Yes.
If I really don't know, what do I do with this flag?
You throw it.
You
I
throw it. You throw it.
Throw it? Okay. Because I have no idea. I'm stumped. Jair Alexander's availability, I have no idea at this point. He's been practicing, hasn't been playing. So I'll challenge.
All right, challenge. All right, this one's quick. Romeo Doubs leads the Packers in receiving touchdowns. Hasn't had one since the Chargers game. Challenge or no challenge, Romeo Doubs touchdown on Sunday.
No challenge. Packers are beaten up at receiver, but they have Dobbs, and he catches a lot of touchdowns.
I think a really interesting case study is who's the best receiver on this team right now, not Christian Watson. I think it might be Jaden Reed. And that's not to say, but they're both important. Romeo Doubs, Jaden Reed, both important. I'm gonna challenge. I think Jaden Reed gets in the end zone. He's been playing really well.
All right, so Reed's going to score, but not Dobbs. We both think Dobbs is going to score. All right, when we come back, it's time to wrap up the show and get green and bold. Our Week 15 predictions are next. Time now to wrap up the show and get green and bold. Marcus, Ryan, Week 15, Packers, Bucks, who do you have?
I am so on the fence on this one. Like, these teams are very evenly matched, but shout out to Cam. Cam says to go with the Packers, so I'll lean towards the Packers right now.
Thank you to our producer, Cam, for helping Marcus on that one.
Can we just acknowledge that any prediction at this point in the season is, by definition, a bold prediction? Because nobody knows. Nobody knows what's going to happen. They can beat the Chiefs and lose to the Giants. I want to take the Packers. They're at home. The injury situation's got me a little concerned, but they're at home. I think the home team wins when they are evenly matched like this.
Look, the Packers got trapped by the Giants. I don't think they're going to do that twice in 2 weeks. They need to beat the Buccaneers, so they're going to beat the Buccaneers. I have the Packers winning this game.
Oh, boy,
All
Tampa.
three.
All right, that'll do it for this edition of Green Bay Nation. For Marcus Eversole, Ryan Wood, I'm Lauren Helmbrecht. Thank you so much for tuning in.